Hey everybody, live from the On Target Podcast Studios in beautiful Maitland/Orlando, Florida. It's the Tom Squared Tech Talk Podcast with your hosts Tom Jelnick and Tom Craig. Hey all 18 of you, welcome back to the Tom Squared Tech Talk Podcast. I am your excited host, Tom Jellick. I am joined with the fabulous, I like the word fabulous. I'm going to call you fabulous from now on.
I'm going to have to get a new set of sunglasses if that's the case.
Yeah.
Elton John, I'm going to need my sunglasses back.
And the bling.
See, now I've got to go home. I got to change.
You got to go down the yellow brick road, Tom, is what you got to do.
I tell you. But the equally caffeinated Tom Craig here.
You don't, are you caffeinated?
You know, today I am ready to roll, Tom.
You seem a little mellow Tom.
It was a holiday weekend recently, and we're pumped up and ready to go.
You're ready to go? Are you going jet skiing anytime soon, sir?
You know, the knees just won't allow us to do that too much anymore. But that's why we're here at the computer where there's just no pain. It's all easy.
There is no pain unless you're on a PC.
Or unless you have the wrong service provider. Notice how I glanced right over the whole PC
You didn't
thing.
even dwell on the PC thing.
No,
the pain of a PC.
No, I'm trying to take the high road here. You know,
You're a good man.
Away from the city dump or the Apple Store, as we call it.
Oh,
you know, you
that wasn't the high road.
They just we're looking down from the high road. But
from your Microsoft tower,
my Microsoft high horse.
Wow,
I tell you.
PC. So what are we talking about today, Tom?
We are talking about when you choose a service provider, things you should think about.
Any kind of service provider in particular, Tom?
None. Any kind of service provider. Wouldn't matter if it's an internet service provider, if it's a computer consulting service, if it's a web consulting service like On Target Solutions.
Oh, you said it. Thank you so much. It's On Target Digital Marketing, Tom, and folks that looking for IT support would also want to shop for Advanced System Solutions or ASSI.
That's right, ASSINC. We stand behind our name.
I love it. They can really get behind you.
I tell you, we're gonna after the cyber hygiene, we're just gonna steer clear of that whole topic right there. But let's get right into it today.
Wait,
Tom.
I don't want to be the butt of any of those jokes, Tom.
Oh, see, it only goes down from there.
It does.
So
okay,
but you know, Tom, one thing that I always like to consider when I'm thinking about a new service provider, the first thing that I do when you've narrowed it down, you've got 3 different competitors, and you're trying to figure out which one's best for you.
Sure.
I take down their customer support number and call that, and I hit number 3, as I think it usually is for tech support, and see how long it takes for that call to be answered. Is it a person or is it some automated service that I have to go through and wait on hold for 45 minutes?
The voicemail jail.
Oh, it's just the worst, isn't it?
It is. And getting stuck in that loop. And then the worst is like if you fat finger a number and you got to start everything all over again. Yep. It'll drive you absolutely crazy.
Or, the thing that really bugs me is, you're sitting there and you're going through the menu and you're listening intently, and suddenly one of the in-laws comes in and asks where something is or something. It's
always the in-laws, Tom.
I was trying to listen. So then you hit the wrong number and you end up in residential and not business. And now we've got to transfer you back all over again. And all that time was
I feel like you're baiting me, Tom.
Yeah, well, I've heard stories on the interweb about you. I heard that you have had experiences that make IRS wait times seem like a
picnic,
like a trip to Jimmy John's.
Freaky fast.
Freaky fast.
Well, let me break down this story for you, Tom.
Anxious.
It was a beautiful night.
Yeah.
A lot of festivities.
Okay.
A lot of people. They're all over here at On Target Digital Marketing. We had a grand opening, some joyous festivities.
In the new wide spaces here.
Yeah.
Looks beautiful.
Well, thank you, sir. It's deluxe. I'm proud of it, right? All of these people have come to celebrate with us. So I set up a little bit of mood music, Tom. I put my phone out and I hooked it up to a Beats pill. Are you familiar with that device?
They sound great.
Yeah, so it's running, it's streaming the Apple Radio, which is awesome because it's Apple. So that's streaming, And I noticed, I looked down at my watch, Apple Watch, because it's awesome. It's giving me a heads up that it's playing, it was U2, Rattle and Hum. And that music didn't fit the radio that was playing before. And I remember thinking that's kind of odd and goofy, but I kind of brushed it off. So a few minutes later, I'm really close to the speaker and I hear Metallica playing through my phone.
Okay.
So I got to think, what's going on here? This isn't part of my mellow mix radio station.
Crazy.
It's my own phone. So what had happened is our internet dropped at the office. And I'm freaking out. And there's all these people here. And I'm more concerned about tomorrow, right? Because I'm going to have 11,
clients.
12 employees and clients in here,
Yeah.
and I need the internet because we do the internet stuff with the web and the computers.
Kind of important to have access.
With the Macs, we got to make sure our Macs can get online. So
because otherwise they can't play that music you want to have for the which is different from my computer. My computer actually sings.
does it?
It's a Dell. But that's a whole nother story.
Wow, that was bad.
But no, so the internet goes down. You're now hearing Metallica, and you're concerned about the ambience in the room. You've got everybody enjoying the beautiful offices here,
I do,
and now you worry.
I'm worrying, and I'm freaking out that there's not going to be internet. So I go back to my office discreetly, of course, and I use my phone on AT&T to Google the phone number for CenturyLink. Mm-hmm. So I call my provider. I have fiber, mind you. And after being on hold for a good 15 minutes and explaining to the nice person on the other end what my problem was, she says, "Oh, you're calling the residential number." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I called the business number." And I recited it. So that was kind of strike one. Let me transfer you to the right place. They transfer me all over the planet, Tom. I'm talking to India, Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan. You know where Barat
all
lives?
The stands.
I was there with Barat.
Yep.
Right. I'm in a stable somewhere in an oil field somewhere.
And the worst is with each transfer, the call quality gets a little bit worse.
It's worse, and my frustration gets higher.
I can feel it.
3 hours nonstop of back and forth trying to prove who I was as a customer. My God, Tom, I will never do that again. I lost my mind. I think I lost a bit of my religion that night too.
Yeah, I tell you, vendor management is almost an entire consulting service of its own these days with the way that customer support can fail you when you need it most.
And there's a lot riding on it.
There is.
And when you're frustrated and they keep passing you along, I think that what they don't realize is that the customer's frustration level is getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And if you ever came to me and asked for a referral on who to use, that's the last company I'm going to tell you to use.
Yep, and that's exactly why customer service is so important. So check the customer service availability of that service provider beforehand. And although sometimes we're forced into a particular service provider based on our need or our location, if we have options, nice to know what those options are.
And one option, Tom, is to get your in-laws to make the phone call for you.
Yeah. Getting my in-laws to do anything would be that'd be an act of God or an act of Congress, one of the two.
One and the same, really.
I tell you, it feels like that, doesn't it? But no, they're just not there for me, Tom.
And that's the thing, like customer service. A lot of people are so obsessed with, just go on the internet and fill out a contact form and stuff. But I got to tell you, when it really matters. And when, there's a lot riding on it, like your small business, or maybe it's even your home internet or what have you, it's really important. I got some kids there that if they're not playing Fortnite, we got a problem.
I tell you, I mean, what my nephews and nieces, that's the blackmail tool right there.
Mine too. My kids.
You want to help with the dishes?
That's right.
If you want to be playing Minecraft tonight, I need some help over here drying these dishes. So
that's right.
So yeah, Minecraft's not played without the internet.
But customer service is so critical, and you've got to poke around and make sure that it's the right company for you. And we're not just talking about internet service providers. No. We're not talking about just IT folks or digital marketing folks. No. We're also talking about even maybe your pest control company.
Exactly.
Maybe it's your trainer for your pet alpaca. Are they reliable? Do they have good customer service?
Yep. And do they know are they all encompassing, or do they just know one aspect of the service?
One trick ponies, Tom.
That's what you want to stay away from. So one of the examples I like to use would be referencing On Target.
Oh,
You're
too kind, Tom.
You think not only can you come here to have a website built,
Sure.
but then there's also content that has to fill the website.
Right.
There's podcasts. There's many different ways to go about that. And then from there, how is it going to be discovered on the internet, or is it going to remain like Advanced System Solutions or any other technology company as an island out there in the internet that isn't visited too often? And so see, that's why having a company like On Target that knows that when they build the website, it needs to be built for the content. It needs to be built to hold the podcast. It needs to be built for that SEO. It's the same thing as you say with pest control. Are they just coming in for spraying for ants? Or are they thinking about holistically, well, maybe the ants eat the termites, so we need to make sure that we're taking care of the termites and the ants.
Right, kill them all. Let God sort them out.
That's what Metallica said, I think, based on what you were saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, so make sure that it's not that one-trick pony.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than having to call in multiple contractors to get a job done.
Or you think you have it, that you're covered, and you call that provider, and they say, "Ooh, yeah, we only spray for ants." I'm sorry, that's pretty much.
And you know what, Tom?
Do.
When I retire,
yeah,
from the Macs and the digital marketing, and I have this dream and vision because I hate fire ants, Tom, with a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever been bit by a fire ant?
You and anyone else who's ever stood in a fire ant hill.
Hate them.
Yep.
My first experience when I moved to Florida is walking along this lake. I'll never forget it. And I feel uncomfortable pain on my arm. And a fire ant had just jumped out of a tree like a paratrooper, landed on my arm and started chewing the crap out of my arm. So this is my first experience with Florida. Needless to say, anytime I go outside to walk the car. No, wash the car, wax the car, water the yard. There's always one damn fire ant that crawls up my leg and bites the crap out of me. And I'll tell you what, when I retire, Tom, I am going to offer a service of eradication.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's going to be one job. I'm going to be devoted to customer service like you wouldn't believe. And I'm going to give you 3 levels of options for your fire ant remediation. You want to hear them?
Please, bring it on.
1 is kind and gentle.
Okay.
Do you want them to feel the pain when they die? No? Okay. I have methods, right? Maybe the fire ants take a nap. They just never wake up. That's option 1.
Okay.
Option 2 is hurt me a little, right? So I've devised a technique where I can just kind of yank their back buttocks off, if you will, and they just die a slow, painful death.
Okay.
I'm willing to take
2.
the time to kill all of them that way.
Okay.
Number 3, Tom, is plenty of pain. So, contrary to popular belief, Tom, fire ants hate fire.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm going to make it hurt.
I'm thinking this sounds like it's coming from experience.
It could. It could involve gasoline, kerosene, Girl Scout water, name it what you will. But we're going to take care of every last fire ant. And that's my commitment. That's my level of customer service.
I tell you,
it's a dream.
And one that is obtainable. So that's great.
I think so.
It's nice to have good goals.
So if you're serious about fire ant eradication, I'm going to be your guy as soon as I retire.
I tell you, well, that is a user experience that you will be providing there, giving them options.
Right.
See, and allowing them to make it easy for them.
It's all about the customer, Tom.
Yeah, it's all about that user experience.
And killing those damn fire ants.
I tell you, something else to think about when thinking about that service provider, not just fire ants, but what is that user experience? Is it something that's really going to benefit and make it easy for your employees and your clients with that service? So
and I'll even let them watch.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want
no additional charge.
No, you want to watch the carnage? I'm going to make it happen because that's how dedicated I am to customer experience and customer service. And in all seriousness, I built my business. I know you did. I know you built Advanced System Solutions upon business and being a good partner with whoever you're working with, and just knowing how important it is for your reputation and to do the right thing. You were sharing with me, and you don't even realize it. I know you were running around putting out fires all day yesterday because that's the kind of guy you are. Your customers usually have a broken PC.
Yeah.
Not 99% of the time, it's a PC with the problem. So you're rushing off to either throw it in the trash can or get it to work. And
No, we can upgrade and fix these. These aren't Apple products.
you can upgrade the PC.
We can replace parts.
So it becomes crap deluxe. Yeah, crap. Yeah. Okay, that's great. But I know you have a really profound sense of customer service and taking care of people. Heck, you helped me out yesterday with my Switch.
It was a pleasure. And yours was, and you, Tom, are so easy to help. That's what makes it so nice, is having somebody on the other end of the line who actually understands technology. But even when there's people that don't, the beauty is you and I can put it down into simple terms that people can understand.
And that's what the Tom Tech, whatever the hell we call this program, the T Squared Tom Tech, I screwed that up 3 times, Tom. What is it? What the hell is this show called?
Hey, T Squared. What more do you need to know?
You're right.
2 Toms in a room.
I'm overcomplicating it.
I tell you, when they came out with the Tom, you knew then that great things could come from 2 Toms.
That's right.
That was the best GPS that ever came out.
It was. I think it was the first.
I tell you.
And the only.
And with a name like that, how can you go wrong?
You can't go wrong.
And that's how, that's customer,
it is.
service right
I mean,
there.
it's built into our name, essentially.
Yep.
So any other tips, Tom, on shopping or interacting with the service provider?
I can tell you something to stay away from.
Hit me.
Long-term contracts. Yeah. There's no need, unless your provider is having to perform some sort of construction build-out to provide your services. There's no need to sign a 3 or a 5-year contract. In the way that technology changes these days, in 12 or 18 months, the face of the internet can completely change. I mean, if you look at web-based security, 18 months ago, it was in its infancy.
Right.
And now it is at the forefront of how we're handling security. So don't get locked into a contract. There's just no need for it.
There isn't. And, if you're calling around a cable company or whatever it is, you let them know, hey, listen, I'm Tom. I'm not dealing with contracts.
That's
and
right.
You tell them to talk to us if they got a problem with it.
That's right. And we'll sick the fire ants on them.
You're damn right.
But yeah, an annual contract, that's one thing.
Right.
But a 3, a 5-year contract
that's
these
just
days,
ridiculous, Tom.
No need for it whatsoever. So steer clear of that. And just make sure you're getting a good ROI out of what it is that you're trying to implement. Make sure it's not somebody's pet project.
And we talked about this before, trust but verify. So, any provider you're about to use, I do encourage you to go online and look at reviews, read those reviews. Here's the thing about reviews, though. I want you to know this. Take them with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You start seeing a whole bunch of 5-star reviews for a telecom company. Listen, nobody likes their damn telecom company. So I can tell you that there's a whole market out there that people go out and create fake reviews to make another company look bright and sparkly.
Amazing. I've heard about that in the real estate market. When people are asking for a realtor, there's a company that they can go out and push your name out from a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
Oh, go to Tom Craig. He's the best realtor in the world. Not knowing, I don't have a clue about home prices and all the other stuff that goes with it.
Right. So you just, as a consumer, you need to put on your
do your homework.
You got to do your homework. You got to know that not every company's perfect, right? So if I see tons of 5-star ratings on a company, I don't always believe it, and but you got to dig and you got to look around. Another place this makes me cringe to say it, but the Better Business Bureau actually is another good place to go take a look at reviews and read any conflicts that any company has had.
Multiple sources, Tom. Multiple sources. Because we all know there could be somebody on Yelp who could shut down a restaurant with one tweet or one Yelp or whatever they do on Yelp.
And it happens.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. So, as a consumer, use the tools you have to go out and find the best darn fire ant extraction services you can find.
That's right. And rip them off by the legs.
That's right. That's the middle package for the record.
That's what I'm going for. I saw the pricing plan on that, and that's what I'm signing up for.
It's going to be fun. I've got these specialized tweezers that, this is just going to sting a little bit.
No, well, I'm anxious to see the growth.
It's going to be fun.
It's the process, Tom.
It's all upstairs, Tom. Right now, it's all it's there. I'm working it, but you mark my words.
I don't think there's a lot of competition.
There certainly isn't.
All right. Well, then I think you're gold. So that is a service that will be easy to check out.
That's correct, and I'll make darn sure everybody finds it.
All right. You know it because you know why.
Tell me.
That's what On Target does.
Nice segue.
Yeah, I tell
That was
you.
beautiful.
Yep.
Inspiring.
Don't be an island out there on the internet.
That's right.
So well, Tom, I tell you, these are great tips for choosing a service provider, and when they're looking for online services, none better than On Target. So that's
And none better for IT services than ASSI.
well, as you've said before, we stand behind our name.
You go ASSI or ASSI?
ASSI.
Yeah,
we go with
sure.
that. It's a little bit more subtle.
Well, Tom, speaking of subtle, it's time to reach deep into our mail sack.
Reach deep into our mail sack.
Who are we hearing from today, Tom?
We have Sam from Charlotte.
Sam from Charlotte. Okay. Well,
Charlotte.
thanks for listening.
Where is Charlotte? Is that North Carolina? Is that where that is, Tom?
I think it's like Springfield. There's at least half a dozen of them.
there's got to be.
Yep.
Sam's a super cool dude, right?
All right.
He's actually sent us multiple emails before. We're just getting to bear with us, Sam. We're busy guys, Tom and I.
Well, but we appreciate the people reaching out nonetheless.
So Sam's asking me, how do you trust Yelp reviews? That's a great question.
That is a great question, Sam, and that's we were just hitting on that,
Right.
how one review can bring a business down, and that's why it's important. You think about the amount of time that people think about when you had that experience with your internet service provider.
Century Stink.
And you're here in the office,
Yeah.
and you're angry. You just spent 3 hours livid, infuriated. Just
Right.
the words can go on and on and on. And now you've got all the time in the world while you're still waiting on hold to go on to Yelp
That's absolutely correct.
and sit there and rip them apart and even go back and edit it a couple times, 3 or 4 times.
and make it worse.
And you're still on hold.
But you know what, Tom? That's a great point. Does CenturyLink deserve that?
Sometimes they do,
You're
but
damn right
sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't.
That's right. And that's why I like to check multiple sources.
That's
just
great
Yelp.
great advice for Sam. I think just relying on one of these. There's Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Yelp reviews. There's Angie's List. There's kind of like home improvement service provider lists that you can go check out. Consult multiple species of reviews, and don't be afraid to go on Facebook and ask your buddies or friends. I'm in search of a painter or an alpaca trainer, like we talked about.
Exactly.
Because those guys are
High paid.
I mean,
I know that. High
you
paid.
don't wanna mess
My
around.
alpaca trainer bill is just outlandish every month.
but he's a great guy. If he
earns
knows
his money.
anybody knows alpacas.
I tell you.
It's Bill.
So don't trust just one source because something like Yelp, it could be somebody angry, a few people angry, and again, scroll down through. It's just like with Amazon. You'll know there'll be a great product out there, but there was somebody who had a bad day and they decided to take it out on that review.
Right, and shred them.
That's right.
So a little bit of advice too, if you are going to go put out a review, you do need to be cognizant that whatever you're writing online can really break down a business.
It's
And
amazing these days. It could one comment could take down an entire organization.
I've seen it before. I've had customers that have been, on the bad end of and granted, all companies make mistakes.
It's similar to how one autocorrect could completely change the landscape of what you're trying to accomplish. And did you know, thanks to autocorrect, 1 out of every 5 kids is going to get a visit from Satan this Christmas. But that's
That's a lovely thought, Tom. and God, all the messages you sent to the in-laws that have just been off by a couple words, not so good.
those weren't autocorrect problems, Don. Those were actually sent
That's
on
reality.
purpose.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, but listen, Sam and Charlotte, just know that you've got to consult a multiple variety of places
Absolutely.
too, and get a better picture. And Sam, if fire ants ever creep up into Charlotte, North Carolina,
We all know who to contact for that problem.
yeah,
now,
they're
Tom.
coming. They're coming because
They are.
they're ornery.
They-
But you call me, we'll take care of it.
They are on target.
They are. They're jerks, is what they are.
Spot on, Tom.
Speaking
Spot
of
on.
in-laws, Tom, listen, it's been a great show. I've learned a lot.
I've always enjoyable, Tom.
And remember, folks, our mission here is to bring tech and customer service and all things business down, make it a little bit easier to digest. And we'd love for you to write into our mail sack.
What would you like to hear about? Any ideas of what troubles you, or aside from your fire ant problems, because you already know where to go to for that. But if there's any ideas you have on something you'd like to hear, let us know.
And you can send those in to Tom at ontargetdigitalmarketing.com, and we'll put them into the sack and pull them out later.
So please write in. We're looking forward to making that happen.
Tom, where can folks find you to learn more about what you do at ASSI?
We are on the interwebs at advancedsystemssolutions.com. And yourself, sir?
You can find me at ontargetdigitalmarketing.com. And I want to thank all of you for listening today. I'd love it if you'd share the show with a friend, a coworker, your alpaca trainer, Bill, maybe Sam up in Charlotte. Share the love, folks.
I tell you, it's nice to be nice, Tom.
It is nice,
Get the
Tom.
word out there.
I hope you have a swell weekend too, Tom.
Likewise. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Take care now.
This podcast was recorded at the On Target Podcasting Studio.